things happen in the movie industry. Why
Oh,
are I able to? Why do I have to go buy or rent a DVD to watch something? That's ridiculous. I want to
I,
have it on my screen at home.
I said that 4 years ago they wanted to burn the witch.
Yeah.
I predicted 4 years ago that Netflix and Blockbuster will be out of business within 4 years in their current model. I
In their
predicted
current
that
model.
the DVD, that any form of archival media is over. Any
Agreed.
form of spin is over.
It's all about the
Now,
cloud. Get it up in the cloud.
there you go. Next words out of my mouth, Scott. Back in 1994, I'm going to tell two funny stories. Back in 1994, we were talking at meetings about asynchronous transfer mode, ATM. 94, we were talking about ATM, okay? The ability to exchange back and forth in real time. 9X brought us in when we were at DI to design an interface for their interactive television, okay? I mean, this is where we were in a little, you remember the warehouse stuff? We had a warehouse in Bohemia with extension cords bought from Home Depot, the little ones, not even the thick ones. That's how we were running our server, with 2 or 3 lamp extension cords. We were running our server because the owners were too cheap to have it hardwired. We literally had the little white cord you buy at CVS. We had 2 or 3 of them. We had 2 or 3 of them taped together, running our server, our heart. You know. Anyhow, unbelievable. Unbelievable. And we made $800,000 worth of profit in 18 months. And that's what we were running off of. Just I go back to those days and I just go, what idiots. The funny story I'll tell you, and I don't think I told these guys a funny story. Back in '93, I think you were a sophomore, and I was held up in the little blue lab downstairs. I don't know if you remember it by
Remember the blue lab?
By the chairperson's office.
Yep.
And I was there for 6 weeks building a MacroMind Director CD-ROM for Mac Warehouse. Okay? And I was in that room for 6 weeks learning Director and building it. So, and then we built another one for Sony Music. Music Sound Exchange was their, what do you call those things? I forget, they're so old now. Catalogs. Direct mail catalogs that were sent around. We said, you can put this on a CD-ROM for, $3, and or at the time it dropped down to 49 cents. So we were trying to explain to them, so we built a model. And the two owners, the two money people of DI, right? So we finally get a meeting with Sony on my old floor at McGraw-Hill in my old conference room, okay? So I'm there. I look the way I always look. And I moved all the equipment, set all the equipment up. And of course, I designed, programmed, did everything on the piece. Plus, I was moving the boxes. So one of the owners who had the inn at Sony, we were ready for the meeting. And he turns to someone and says, dead serious guy, turns to someone and says, you can tell the delivery guy he can leave now. Okay? And the person said, that's the guy who built the product. He needs to be here. And I was like, it was pretty funny. So, different times. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It was hysterical. You could tell the delivery guy to leave. My friend who was like, delivery guy? This is the guy who built the whole thing. We can't lose him. What are you talking about?
Walked out and waited outside.
Yeah, I did. I've done stuff like that. So that was a pretty funny time because you never know. And the reason why I bring this up is you never know who's going to build the next new thing.
That's right.
You really don't know. And one of the things I try and chide my people into is be the new thing. Be the next thing. Always keep your eye on the ROI. Always realize that don't get so far ahead of the curve that there's no return. Okay? So you have to build that into the model. You have to build that into the model. How far can you go before you lost your ROI? You lost your install base. So you've gone to a 48 times CD-ROM because that's the excuse me, that's the best delivery method for your message. However, everybody's CD-ROM is 16 times at the moment. Same thing kind of with bandwidth, same things with what's going on today. So you got to keep your eye on the technology, keep abreast of it, but realize when you're arcing too far. However, plan. Have that 5-year plan and structure your content that it can be distributed through a later methodology. That is coming. That is definitely coming. Holograms. I know it sounds ridiculous, but you saw Gore appear. You saw Will.i.am appear. You saw other people appear. Madonna at the 2005 VH1 or Grammy Awards, whatever it is. So I'm thinking about theater. I'm thinking about, do people have to leave their homes to go see a play today? Will they holographically project in the basement in 5 to 10 years? How do you monetize that? Which is another question. Always, how do you monetize that? My mother always taught me, squeeze that eagle until it screams. Always watch your money.
I don't know what I want to say about that.
Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry used to go to the concerts with an empty suitcase, make sure it was full, then he'd go on stage. So, and that was Chuck Berry, 1955, 56. Always watch your money. So, the reason why I bring that up is there's a global economic structure coming about. Now, I know you were outsourcing back in the day, even in Melville.
Yep.
In a sense, you were outsourcing through your IIT guy
Yep.
because he could speak the lingo. He could speak the freaking sharks. He could speak the lingo with the outsourced department. So you hired him for multiple reasons. First of all, he was brilliant. You could tell that in one sentence. Secondly, he spoke the language on the outsourcing. So you're diminishing costs and bringing up margin and profit. So there is a new global economic structure that we have yet to feel the ripple of. We have truly yet to feel the ripple of. We are going to feel, I don't want to get political, but economics and politics, they're tied together because one drives the other, and without it, without a political leader who is seeing further down the road, who is seeing a new structure, we're in a problem. And we suffered one for 8 years.
Right.
We had a secretary of, so to speak, the internet who explained it as a series of pipes with trucks, and the trucks get backed up, and he literally talked this way. Now we have Chernowski, who's the FCC director, and he has, first bill he puts through is net neutrality. First bill, net neutrality, meaning wide open bandwidth. Okay? So as a commerce person, as a user, as a father with children who will be students, this opening up of bandwidth is going to produce a new economic structure.
You know it.
Totally new economic structure. Now, you talked about video, you talked about television. David is a filmmaker, okay?
Which one is David? Raise your
David
hand.
is in the back. He's got the Yankee shirt
Yankee
on.
fan.
There you go.
All right.
And we're constantly talking about Dave TV. And it's going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. So, as in this course, we are constructing a dream thesis. No budget constraints, no staff constraints, no time constraints. Just an investigation of technology to the umph level. Okay? And what would we want to build? What do we see as the future? And put that down on paper. And then next year from now, 1 year from now, when it's a reality, getting the thesis done, we trim and cut and change and do and figure out within budgets and time frames. So that's really what we're doing. And I think this iChat series is eye-opening. I think it's touching upon everybody's area of interest. And I really think it's a good thing. And, I'm a print man. My first job was at a printing press, okay? I've been a pre-press manager, worked up forms, 4-color, cut. I know the whole deal. I know what a box of working film looks like. It's usually about 4 inches high.